The moment my daughter-in-law said, "I didn't invite you," I was standing beside the dining table I had bought with 20 years of savings. 30 seconds earlier, everyone had been laughing. Then the room went completely silent. I looked at my son, hoping he would say something. He didn't. And that was when I realized the woman standing in front of me had stopped treating me like family. And my son had quietly allowed it. My name is Margaret Whitmore. I'm 64 years old and I built my home outside Halifax, Nova Scotia, long before my son, Nathan, met his wife, Claire. After my husband Graham died, that house became more than walls and windows. It was where I kept his tools, his photographs, his old winter coat, and every memory we had created together. Then Nathan called one winter evening. "Mom, Claire and I are in trouble. We need somewhere to stay." I didn't hesitate. "Come home," I told him. They promised it would only be for 3 months. 3 months became a year. Then things began changing. Claire replaced my curtains without asking. She donated my old dining chairs. She moved Graham's photographs into a closet because they made the house feel dated. I swallowed every insult because Nathan looked happier. Until his 35th birthday. I had spent the entire afternoon preparing food. I even bought his favorite maple glazed salmon. That evening, I carried a tray of glasses into the dining room. Claire looked at me and smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. "I didn't invite you, Margaret." I froze. "What?" She calmly pointed towards the hallway. "This is Nathan's birthday dinner. I wanted it to be intimate." I looked around the table. 6 guests. People I had welcomed into my home. People sitting at the table I had personally chosen and paid for. Then I looked at Nathan. "Did you know about this?" He lowered his eyes. That hurt more than her words. I placed the tray down. "Enjoy your dinner," I whispered. I walked upstairs and closed my bedroom door. For the first time in 30 years, I cried in the house I had built. But I didn't cry for myself. I cried because I finally understood that my kindness had become their entitlement. The next morning, I called a lawyer. Her name was Rebecca McLeod. I expected sympathy. Instead, she asked one question. "Whose name is on the deed?" "Mine." "Then why," she said, "are you acting like a guest?" That sentence changed everything. I checked the property documents. I reviewed the mortgage records. I discovered something even worse. Claire had already contacted a realtor. She was planning to convince me to sell the house and move into a smaller apartment. The following afternoon, I returned home early. A stranger was photographing my front porch. Claire stood beside him. "What are you doing?" She smiled. "Preparing the house for valuation." I felt my hands go cold. "You don't own this house." Her smile disappeared. Nathan came home 20 minutes later. I expected him to defend me. Instead, he said quietly, "Mom, maybe selling would make things easier." I stared at my son. "No," I said. "Making you comfortable has already cost me enough." That evening, Rebecca served them with formal notice to leave. Claire screamed. Nathan cried. But I didn't change my mind. 30 days later, their moving truck disappeared down the street. I stood on my porch watching it leave. The house was quiet again. I walked into the dining room, ran my fingers across the table, and smiled. I hadn't lost my family. I had finally stopped losing myself trying to keep them. And sometimes, the hardest thing a mother can do isn't opening her door. It's finally knowing when to close it.